Hey, let's go back in time for a moment. Long before pharmacies, long before over-the-counter painkillers. Back to a time when healing came from the earth and the kitchen. And sometimes, right, for hundreds of years, maybe more, people treated ear infections, pressure, and mysterious ringing by placing garlic inside the ear. Before going to bed, wrapped in cloth, crushed slightly, or tucked in whole like a little white bulb of healing. They didn't do it as a trend. They did it out of necessity, out of pain, out of desperation. Because when your ear starts to throb, when your hearing fades or the pressure builds, you'll try anything. And garlic, it was always there, hanging from rafters, crushed on cutting boards, used in meals and in medicine. Garlic is ancient. It was used in Egypt, praised in Greece, spoken of in Chinese herbal texts, and everywhere it went. People believed it had power to cleanse, to purify, to drive out illness. So it's no surprise that at some point, someone thought to put it in the ear. Maybe it started as a crushed poultice on the outside. Maybe someone noticed that warm garlic reduced swelling. And then, maybe, just maybe, they decided to try placing it right where it hurt, inside the ear. Canal, not deep, not invasive, but close enough, wrapped in cloth, held in place, with a scarf or bandage, and then they'd sleep. Let the garlic work overnight. Let it draw out the bad air, the infection, the pressure dot, and when they woke, many claimed they felt better. Asterisk, asterisk. But what is garlic, really? Why did it work? Modern science has some fascinating answers. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, a natural antibiotic. It fights bacteria, fungi, even viruses. It reduces inflammation. It's powerful and potent. When garlic is crushed or chopped, that compound activates. It begins releasing oils, vapors, and enzymes that have been shown to fight infections. So, when people placed it near the ear, they may have been doing more than hoping. They were harnessing nature's real medicine. Today, allicin is studied for its ability to combat resistant bacteria. It's found in natural cold remedies, throat sprays, even eardrops in some cultures. So while the method was unusual, the ingredient was spot on, of course. The practice varied by region. In Eastern Europe, garlic was sometimes roasted, then placed warm in cloth before being set at the ear opening to avoid irritation. In India, garlic was boiled in mustard oil, creating a rich, fragrant infusion. This warm oil was dropped into the ear, leaved to melt wax and fight infection. In Italy, folk healers would rub garlic on the outside of the ear and wrap the head in warm towels soaked in wine and herbs. In North Africa, garlic was placed in a hollowed onion, roasted, and the steam funneled into the ear canal with a clay tube. Creative, cultural, deeply rooted in local wisdom. But in every case, the belief was the same. That garlic could cleanse, that pain could be pulled out, that warmth, care, and the right plant could make all the difference. Asterisk, asterisk. So what made people trust garlic so much? Well, in many cultures, garlic wasn't just medicine. It was sacred, protective, powerful. In medieval Europe, garlic was hung above doors to ward off evil. It was believed to repel bad spirits and even disease itself. You may have heard the old stories. Garlic keeping away vampires. That idea has deeper roots. It symbolized cleansing. It carried heat, a force that ancient people believed could push illness out of the body, and the ear was seen as an entry point or a trap, a place where winds could get stuck, where spirits could whisper, or where wetness could settle, leading to pain and madness. To heal the ear meant restoring balance to the body and soul. And garlic, warm, sharp, and pungent, was the perfect tool. In rural Russia, people believed placing garlic in the ear overnight could help. With more than infection, it could remove sadness, pulling sorrow from the head. One old saying goes, In China, garlic was seen as a yang food, hot, activating. Ear pain was considered a yin condition, cold, passive. So warming the body with garlic was a way to restore harmony. In Scandinavia, some healers placed garlic in the ear during cold weather to prevent frost damage and earaches, believing the plant's fire could block the cold from settling in. But not all uses were so gentle. In some older texts, people poured raw garlic juice directly into the ear, and that often led to burns. Garlic is powerful, too powerful in concentrated form. The raw juice can irritate the skin, especially inside the sensitive ear canal. That's why the best traditional healers always used a buffer, cloth, oil, or soft wax. They didn't place it deep. They placed it near the canal, close enough to work, but far enough to stay safe. That balance of caution and care is what made the remedy last. It wasn't reckless. It was thoughtful, refined over generations. Asterisk, asterisk now. You might be wondering, did it really work? Or was it just folklore? Modern studies have shown that garlic can fight many bacteria responsible for ear infections, like Streptococcus or Pseudomonas. Its vapor, allicin, has real antimicrobial activity, and warm oil infused with garlic may help soften wax, reduce swelling, and relieve mild pain. So yes, in small ways, it worked, not as a cure-all, not for severe infections, but for minor aches, for temporary relief. It may have truly helped, and more than that, it provided something we often forget: comfort. There's something soothing about the warmth of garlic, the ritual, the care. Someone taking time to warm the clove a bit, just right. Place it gently. Stay close as you fall asleep. That kind of healing goes deeper than the ear. It speaks to the heart, to the quiet part of us that longs to be cared for and remembered. Asterisk, asterisk, today, we no longer need to sleep with garlic in our ears. We have doctors, we have antibiotics, we have sterile drops designed specifically for the inner ear. But even now, some people still do it, not because they distrust modern medicine, but because they still believe in garlic's warmth, its simplicity, its closeness to the earth and to tradition. You'll find people on wellness forums recommending it. Homeopaths gently placing softened cloves near the outer ear. Mothers warming garlic-infused oil on the stove. Grandparents sharing what they once did in silence. In a world of screens, machines, and digital advice, some people still turn to a plant, a ritual, a memory passed down through generations. Because healing is not just about facts, too. It's about feeling. And garlic, for all its smell and sting, still carries something human. It reminds us of kitchens, of grandmothers, of candlelight, of the smell of broth in winter, of being cared for when the world felt too loud, and the ear. It holds that history, every sound, every whisper, every story ever told. When it goes quiet, when the pressure builds, we don't just feel pain, we feel disconnected. That's why remedies like these mattered. They weren't perfect, but they made us feel close again, to others, to the earth. Asterisk, 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 and maybe that's the real lesson here, that healing isn't always about chemicals and clinics. Sometimes it's about presence, warmth, trust. It's about believing that something natural, something small, can still make a difference. That a clove of garlic, placed with care, can carry love from one generation to the next. So tonight, as this ear becomes clear, as the sound returns, and the ritual ends, take a breath, a slow one, and think of all the strange, beautiful things people have done, just to help someone feel a little better, to take away pain, to bring back sound, to let the world feel clear again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for keeping these stories alive. Sleep well, or enjoy your day, and remember, the strangest cures often come from the most sincere love. Good night.